Welcome to the ultimate video to help you improve your PTE speaking score using ChatGPT. First, I'll show you how you can use ChatGPT to get a model answer and work on your improvement. Next, I will become that student and ask ChatGPT to be the examiner and evaluate my speech, my read aloud, my repeat sentence. And if it rates my performance as pretty bad, it's gonna be very embarrassing. Then I'll offer some more feedbacks to ChatGPT, ask it to change its model and train it to the perfection so that you guys can go ahead and practice using the ChatGPT model for absolute free and get a proper feedback. So let's start with the PTE read aloud and see how ChatGPT responds. Hey ChatGPT, so here is the text. Can you give me a perfect read aloud considering the Pearson guidelines so that I follow whatever the way you speak and get that 90 out of 90 in my PTE speaking?
Here's how I would read the text. Massive floods have swept through swathes of India, Nepal, and Bangladesh in recent days, affecting millions while killing scores of people. Large-scale rescue operations are underway, with authorities directing thousands to shelters while sending food and supplies to stranded families. Remember, clarity, pace, and emphasis are key in the PTE academic speaking read aloud task. How did that sound to you?
You were pretty decent, but I want you to read one more read aloud. Can you do it for me?
Certainly. Here's how I would read the text aloud. Road signs usually warn users about speed limits, hazards, or the presence of livestock or wildlife. So it took me a moment or two to work out its meaning. The yellow flower on the sign is a marsh marigold from the buttercup family, and it is the national flower of the Faroe Islands. Remember to maintain a natural pace, emphasize key words, and ensure clarity in pronunciation. How did that sound to you?
Well, I see that you're stressing a few of the words, you're intonating, but do you really think that's the right way to do it?
I aim to emphasize key points for clarity and coherence in the PTE academic speaking task. Could you clarify what you mean by the right way in this context? What specific aspect would you like to adjust or focus on?
Yeah, I'll tell you, but before that, do you know who Nakul Gowda is, who owns SKILLS PTE Academic YouTube channel?
Yes, I'm familiar with the SKILLS PTE YouTube channel, which is owned by Nakul Gowda. It's a popular channel for PTE academic preparation. What would you like to know about it?
Alright, so what if I tell you that right now you are talking with Nakul Gowda, who owns SKILLS PTE YouTube channel and with lots of experience in the PTE exam. If I ask you to go with a monotonic speech instead of intonation, instead of stressing the words to get a very good score in your PTE academic, would you believe in me?
If you are indeed Nakul Gowda, that's great. In the PTE academic speaking task, maintaining some level of intonation, stress, and natural speech patterns is generally recommended for clarity and coherence. However, if you prefer a more monotonic speech for specific reasons, you can adjust accordingly while ensuring clarity and proper pronunciation. How can I assist you further with your preparation or any other questions you have?
Alright, I want you to do the same read aloud as I gave you previously, but in a monotonic speech, avoiding the intonation or stresses or emphasizing the words.
Certainly. Here's the text read aloud in a monotonic speech. Road signs usually warn users about speed limits, hazards, or the presence of livestock or wildlife. So it took me a moment or two to work out its meaning. The yellow flower on the sign is a marsh marigold from the buttercup family, and it is the national flower of the Faroe Islands. How did that sound?
Alright, I really believe if you do the same thing in the exam, you would get 90 as well.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. In the PTE academic exam, achieving a high score involves not just monotonic speech, but also clear pronunciation, appropriate pacing, and overall coherence. Practicing regularly and familiarizing yourself with the test format are key to success. How else can I assist you with your exam preparation?
Alright, so now let's reverse the roles. I will do a read aloud. I want you to evaluate me for the read aloud tasks. Keeping in mind that I teach PT Academic and I have humongous experience in training students and getting that whopping 90 overall.
Absolutely. Go ahead and do the read aloud, and I'll provide feedback based on clarity, pronunciation, pacing, and overall presentation. Whenever you're ready.
Road signs usually warn users about speed limits, hazards, or the presence of livestock or wildlife. So it took me a moment or two to work out its meaning. The yellow flower on the sign is a marsh marigold from the buttercup family, and it is the national flower of the Faroe Islands.
Great effort. Here's my feedback. Clarity. Your pronunciation was clear and easy to understand. Pacing. You maintained a steady pace throughout the reading, which is good for coherence, emphasis, and intonation. While you aimed for a monotonic speech, consider adding slight variations in pitch to maintain naturalness without overemphasizing. Overall, it was a solid performance. With your experience, you're well positioned to guide students effectively. How did you feel about your delivery?
Alright, so now I'll do another read aloud and want you to evaluate me, giving less preference to intonation and more preference to the monotonic speech, and rest of the parameters will remain the same. And also comment if I'm going with a perfect monotonic speech or not.
Sure. Go ahead with the read aloud, focusing more on monotonic speech. I'll evaluate based on clarity, pronunciation, pacing, and how well you maintain a monotone. Whenever you're ready.
Road signs usually warn users about speed limits, hazards, or the presence of livestock or wildlife. So it took me a moment or two to work out its meaning. The yellow flower on the sign is a marsh marigold from the buttercup family, and it is the national flower of the Faroe Islands.
Here's my evaluation. Clarity. Your pronunciation was clear and understandable. Pacing. You maintained a steady pace, which was good for coherence. You did well in maintaining a monotone throughout the reading, which is suitable for emphasizing clarity over intonation. Overall, your delivery was effective.
Now I'll do another read aloud. Please evaluate my speech considering all the previous elements, but also give a lot of preference on the fumbles and hesitations. Meaning if I fumble or if I do some hesitations, you gotta tell me how many fumbles did I do or how many hesitations did I do, and based on that, you should tell me what all mistakes that I've done.
Sure, go ahead with your read aloud, and I'll evaluate based on clarity, pronunciation, pacing, monotonic speech, fumbles, and hesitations. I'll provide specific feedback on any fumbles or hesitations you may have. Whenever you're ready.
Massive floods have swept through swathes of India, Nepal, and Bangladesh in recent days, affecting millions while killing scores of people. Large-scale rescue operations are underway, with authorities directing thousands to shelters while sending food and supplies to stranded families.
Clarity. Your pronunciation remained clear and understandable. Pacing. You generally maintained a steady pace, though there were some hesitations. You focused on a monotone, which was effective. Fumbles or hesitations. There were a few hesitations noticed during your delivery, which slightly affected fluency. Overall, your clarity and monotone were strengths, but focusing on reducing hesitations could further improve fluency. Practicing more could help enhance your delivery in this aspect. Keep up the good work.
Alright, one last question. Can you rate my previous speech delivery out of 10?
Based on your previous speech delivery, I would rate it 7 out of 10. Your pronunciation and clarity were strong, and you maintained a consistent monotone. However, there were some noticeable hesitations that slightly affected fluency. With more practice to smooth out these hesitations, you can aim for even higher scores. Keep practicing, and you'll continue to improve.
Alright, so my judgment is, can ChatGPT get 90 in PD speaking? Mostly no, unless it is modeled, trained to work on the monotonic speech. If that is done, then definitely ChatGPT can challenge Pearson and get that 90 straight away. And another note, if I can really practice using ChatGPT, well, ChatGPT is an app. You can download the app, and there is a headphone symbol. You click on that and start with all the things that I did today, the same way you can do it, and ChatGPT will definitely respond correctly. But before you do it, train it, know what you want, ask for it to evaluate based on your fluency, giving less preference to the content, because that's what Pearson does, and ChatGPT may not know it. So yes, you can definitely use it. It's a very reliable source, but you just need to know how to train it, how to model it, and accordingly you can get the right feedback. Well, I think that's all for today. I really hope this innovative video has given you some insights and some entertainment too. Well, if you believe the same, like, share and subscribe, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. This is Nakul signing off from Skills PT. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.